Just a quick warning that there are some graphics I've used in this video that might be a bit disturbing if you're a bit squeamish.
10 years ago I was diagnosed with EOE and a dairy allergy. I've made another video on my EOE, so if you don't know what that is, check it out. So yeah, 10 years ago I was diagnosed with EOE and a dairy allergy and a intolerance to wheat. And at that point is when I went gluten-free, dairy-free. It was hard back then because there wasn't really that much stuff available that was gluten-free and dairy-free. Most of the time it'd be something gluten-free, but there wouldn't be dairy-free as well, which made it really, really hard. And I was like 12, so going to parties and that, like having cake, it was a bit challenging. So it was just kind of like one of everything, just so people would be appeased. But I guess I can thank the hippies and the health conscious people for making it more of a fad so that more gluten-free stuff has come out, more dairy-free vegan stuff has come out, which is great for me because it means it's dairy-free. Not that I care about the animal part. It's good in a way, and I actually don't know whether it is the hippie thing or whether it's just more of an awareness about the fact that people have allergies and intolerances that impact their day-to-day life. It can be pretty hard on the social life. Like, it can be pretty easy to stick to a diet so long as you don't have to socialize with anyone. As soon as you have to socialize with someone, it makes it incredibly hard to stick to your diet, because if they're eating something that you can't eat, then it's like, well, anyone who goes on bad diets would know that it doesn't last very long. Like, oh, you're having cake? I'll have cake too, I guess, because I don't want to feel like I'm missing out. I'm missing out on a lot of things. Since 10 years ago, I've got a couple new allergies. I am now allergic to potato as well, or it's been discovered that I'm allergic to potato. I think that actually started occurring a while ago and I just didn't quite notice or realize. I would notice that sometimes when I would have this frozen mixed bag of vegetables that had potato in it, my throat would start closing up. Yeah, so apparently I'm allergic to potato as well. Slight allergy to lamb and beef, apparently. I don't know. The rest is just intolerances. So there's 3 kinds of proteins that can be found in everything, really, as amines, salicylates, and glutamates. And certain foods are higher in these things than others. And I have quite a high sensitivity to pretty much all 3 of them. So I'm on a strict elimination diet, which is low amine, low salicylate, low glutamate, gluten-free, dairy-free, fish-free for me diet. Which means that I'm pretty much eating chicken, green beans, and rice for my meals most of the time. I can have a little bit of garlic and a little bit of shallots. But other than that, there is no spices, only salt. So it is a pretty bland diet. I can have things like cabbage. Most fruit and vegetables are going to be high in salicylates. Things that are overcooked are going to be high in amines, and things like meat is high in amines. And the older something is, the higher it is in amines. The more raw something is, the higher it is in salicylates. And glutamate's kind of like get in there and mess things up and be annoying. There's also FODMAPs, which are chickpeas and lentils and that sort of thing, and pear as well actually. So there's a lot of things that I kind of have to be aware about, and people just don't get that. People just think, oh, you're in a diet. When's that gonna finish? Like, never, maybe? I don't know. It's not a fad diet, it's my diet. I don't understand why people think that diet means it has an end date. You have a diet. Right, so my allergies, a couple of things happen. So I'll start with dairy because it's the one that I've had for the longest time and most familiar with. When I eat dairy, and I actually had a really recent experience with this 2 years ago, I ate a Magnum out of just pure like, oh, I wonder if I'm still really allergic to dairy. yeah, I am. I'm still very allergic to dairy. Like, within 5 seconds, I was feeling it. So, goes down my esophagus, and then pretty much instantly, if not like maybe 30 seconds later, I start spitting a lot. I'm pretty sure it's like all my white blood cells in my esophagus going like, what's this? So I just start constantly spitting. Like, this is a bit gross. I'm sorry guys. Sorry, disclaimer, this is going to be a little bit gross bodily functions. And then what will progressively start happening is I will start to feel like I'm getting stabbed in the chest. Like someone's got a big dirty knife and just gone right in there. And then it'll just keep going for hours until it decides that it wants to stop. And then sometimes it'll just kind of like just stop, and then it'd be like, well, maybe just grabbing it with some glass fingertips. And then, so it feels like I'm getting stabbed in the chest when I eat dairy. Like, you're gonna tell me that, is it gonna be that bad if you have chocolate? Oh no, getting stabbed in the chest, not a big deal at all. Like, you know, like, how do you stay on the diet? Well, I mean, feeling like you're gonna die maybe helps me stay on the diet a little bit. That's what happens when I have dairy. It's quite dramatic, right? That same reaction can happen when I have things high in amines as well, or just randomly. Apparently it can just happen randomly, or it's high in amines. You can't go, oh well, this is high in amines, and like tell unless it's like burnt to the crisp. You're like, well, that's definitely going to be a problem. Yeah, but you don't know if it's going to affect you, because the thing with these proteins is it's a build-up thing as well. So I could have something on Monday, I can have the same thing on Tuesday and be fine. Like these Monday, Tuesday, fine, like no issues whatsoever. Get to Wednesday and that's a problem. I've eaten the same thing all 3 days. And people wonder why I don't want to eat out. I don't know. What is going to happen? And it's not fun. And sometimes my reactions can be pretty like, you know, whatever. Like even I wouldn't even complain about it. But it can be really bad sometimes. And people just don't get that it can be really bad. Because they automatically assume it's just going to be like a little bit of a tummy ache and whatever, which still, mind you, can be not pleasant. Still probably wouldn't want to hang around people at that point either. But the thing is, when you're feeling like you're being stabbed in the chest, you're not exactly the most lively person. Like, I'll just put in a picture that I posted on Instagram, which basically was ranting about the fact that no one would be able to tell that I'm having I'm not going to say allergic reaction, but a reaction in my body that was causing me pain. And you wouldn't be able to tell, and I was going on about you wouldn't be able to tell that I'm having a reaction, it's painful. That reaction lasted 8 hours. 8 hours! I was in pain for. I did not want to hang around people. I went home early because I just couldn't focus on work because there's this thing all day. Like, it just, no. So, no. I can't just break my diet because it means that I could be in pain, and I'm not very much fun to be around when I'm in pain. I don't know who you are, but I'm pretty sure that you're not very fun when that causes you to just not want to hang out with people in places where there's food. And I guess the other thing that people don't understand is everything revolves around food. You just don't realize how much everything revolves around food until you can't participate, right? There have been plenty of times where I've sat around and watched people eat food while I was hungry, even after I've eaten. It's not as bad after I've eaten, but while I'm hungry, sitting there watching everyone eat McDonald's after a great night at youth, it's demoralizing, it sucks. And I even had to buy food for my brothers. Like, I am buying food for someone else that I can't eat. It just sucks. And you don't want to say no to hanging out with people because of the social. The thing is, it just makes you feel depressed, really, honestly. It makes me feel depressed when I have to watch people eat food that I can't eat. And yeah, it's self-centered and it sucks. And I understand there are kids in Africa and stuff like that that don't get to eat food, but I suppose it just feels like I'm being left out of the group because I can't relate. Everyone's like, oh, this pasta tastes so good, and I'm like, yeah, this tap water is great too. It totally kills it. Yeah, even at Christmas time, we had a Christmas lunch where it was something I could eat, and I still had a reaction from it, not cooked enough or something. But then I didn't realize that everyone was going to be eating a cakey dessert, and just sitting there with my pear, like feeling miserable because I couldn't have the same cake thing that they were having, and it's sad. So I got up and I left because I just felt upset that I can't participate in something. Everything revolves around food. And you might be like, oh yeah, but Christmas is about family and stuff like that, but the centerpiece of that get together is food. Even if you're going out to do bowling, at some point you're going to get hungry and they're going to go, oh yeah, we'll just grab something from somewhere. That doesn't help me. That makes me anxious, and that's the other thing. Food makes me anxious. It is a threat, especially when other people have control of it. Now I sound like a control freak, but the number of times that I've had to resend food back to the restaurant because they just simply have got it all wrong. I remember one time I ordered some fish thing. I go, no cheese please on the, no cheese please. No cheese please on the thing because I have a dairy allergy. And lo and behold, the dish comes back with, I think it was ricotta cheese on the top. And I was like, yeah, no, I can't eat that. Comes back again. I'm like, okay, no ricotta cheese on the top. Sweet. Start cutting it a bit and, oh, look underneath the fish, there's more ricotta cheese. Send it back again. Get it back again. Pretty sure I still had an allergic reaction. They probably just like scraped it off the top and there was probably still residue there or something, but you know, and I asked for no potato with one of my meals. And guess what I got on the plate? Potato! Which isn't so bad because you could just like not eat it. But when it's something like cheese on fish, like you can't just remove it because it's still gonna have cheese on it. Potato's not so bad, but I still asked for potato, no potato, and got potato. So you can understand why when it comes down to even using olive oil is a problem. That I just don't want people cooking stuff for me. Like I don't want to go to a restaurant.
Thanks for watching part 2 on my rant about allergies and how people don't understand what we go through. Make sure you check out part 1 and 3.